Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, where today we're going to have more fun spatchcocking chickens. Now, we loved our spatchcock chicken that we cooked on the grill for a recent video. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. We're having a family gathering next week, and I wanted to do spatchcock chickens on the grill one more time for them. And we already have several Costco chickens in our freezer, whole chickens. But these are now 99 cents a pound. You can't beat that, any other meat protein. As far as in our area, nothing is cheaper than 99 cents a pound. So Jim went to Costco and picked us up 4 more chickens. These have not been frozen, they are fresh. Now, the 99 cents is for a reason, because these were not the cleanest chickens. Well, I mean, they were clean, but they were covered with visceral stuff from inside the chicken, and all of the organs were still in, but they were not all in the cavity. Sometimes the livers were smashed up on the top, and one chicken had 2 hearts, another chicken had 0 hearts. So, you know, it was probably a very quick butchering job. But once, and I did rinse these because they were a bit covered with the viscera from the innards. And so I patted them dry and they are ready to go. So we're going to do 4. Now, for those of you that may not know what a spatchcocked chicken is, basically we are going to butterfly the chicken, cut the backbone off and lay it flat, break the breastbone so that it cooks better, it holds seasoning better, and it turns out juicier, and the meat is not all dried out because the meat is all about the same thickness. So I have a couple of videos that I'm going to link at the end of this one for our 2 recent spatchcock chicken videos. And this one is going to be preparing them for the freezer. So I want to have chickens, now these are fresh. I can still spatchcock the ones that are in our freezer, but they've already been frozen, so I will have to pull them out one at a time and then do the spatchcock process and then use them. With these are fresh, so I'm going to spatchcock all 4 of them and then freeze them in that condition. So all I have to do is pull them out, thaw them, and they are ready to go. So spatchcocking is really, really easy. I'm gonna do it quite fast because I have done it in a couple of other videos. Here's the tail, here's the neck, here's the backbone right here. And so what we want to do with a good pair of sturdy kitchen shears, we are just going to enter the cavity alongside the tail and just cut right straight up toward the neck. We are breaking ribs and bone as we go. And now for the other side. All right, the backbone is now free. I'm gonna set that over here. So it's all nice and open. So we're gonna flip it over. And we still have this great big breast poking up way too high. You all just made me laugh so hard. When I read the comments on how to spatchcock a chicken in that video, so many of you said, "Oh, Pam, you look like you were giving the chicken CPR." And it wasn't just 1 or 2 or 3 of you. It was quite a number of you commented on my giving the chicken the CPR. Well, I'm gonna try it again. We'll see how that works. Okay, I'm hearing bones crack. But I also like to come back here and just snip on either side of this breastbone. And now that opened it up way flat. Okay, so we're gonna tuck the wings back. Some feathers here I'm going to get rid of. And this one is ready to go, so I'm just going to lift it over here, lay it out flat, and we're going to do another one. Now, for those of you that think that you've got it, you can fast forward to where I will show you how I'm going to package these and what we're going to do about freezing them, because our freezers are pretty much full. So here we go again. All right, the backbones I'm going to freeze, and I will be doing some broth with those. Okay, flipping it over. Breaking the breastbone, CPR. Remember, I'm 82. All of you are going to have more strength than I do, and you may not need to do this. But just cutting either side of this breastbone and through all this stuff will help it lie flat. Okay, there we go. Much better. And for right now, I'm just going to leave these wings like this. They're going to go in the packages easier, so I'm just going to put them like that. Okay, I'm going to do the other two off camera, and then we will come back. All right, we are back, and I have finished all of the chickens. They're right here, and I thought I would give you a close-up of the underside of what a spatchcock chicken looks like. And I have just put one in a 1-gallon bag. Now, our problem is our freezers are almost full to the bulging point, but this is just too good of a deal to not do this. And so here's what I'm going to do. We have, and I have shown in our new gadgets video from about a month ago, that we have a new portable refrigerator or freezer. You can set it to be either a refrigerator or a freezer. And it's just over here in our library. And we plugged it in early this morning and got it freezing. We're going to use that to get them frozen. And then after that, I'll show you what we're going to do after we come back, probably tomorrow morning after they're frozen. But for right now, this is what we're going to do. So here is the one that is in the 1-gallon bag. And it's not laid out quite as nicely as this one, but everything is scrunched up a little bit. It's still flat. You can see the back of it right here, but the wings and the legs are kind of scrunched in. This is the basket that goes in the freezer. So I am just simply going to drop this down to the bottom, and then I'm going to put, I have these little 8-inch round, they're for cakes, but I use them for other things as well. And I'm going to use those as a separator, just so that they don't freeze into each other. And so I'm going to get this basket loaded up. It is a little bit tricky to put these in the bag, but I think that we can do it. And don't worry about my counter. I just steramined it right before we started because I knew that I was going to have chicken on the counter today. So I think this is about the biggest one. So if we can get this one in, we can get the rest in. Okay, baby, lie flat, lie flat. and get your legs up. And number 2 going in. Oh, this is going to work great. Great, great, great. And a separator. All right, number 3 going in. These separators are going to work great. It's going to allow the cold air to get around them faster. And here is our last one. Right. All right, here's the 4th one. And boom, there we are. So they look very nice in this basket. They will freeze up fairly fast. And I want to bring them back when they're frozen so you can see how I'm hopefully going to be able to stack them in such a way that they can not take up very much space in the freezer. So we will be back probably tomorrow morning after they're frozen solid. All right, it is the next morning and they're frozen, but not without some angst. That little freezer had a really tough time. We had about 20 pounds, a little bit, 21 pounds of chicken out there. And of course it was stacked in a column like this. And it had a really hard time freezing the whole column. By the time we went to bed last night, they still weren't frozen, but they were stiff enough so that I separated them, kind of put them this way, leaning against the walls. And by morning, they were just fine. So now we're ready to get these out to the big freezer. So one of the things that I like to do is to put things in bins and then stack food upright, because a lot of times that is a big space saver. I'm not so sure that it is a space saver at this time. I might have just been able to, with the little space I have, stack all 4 of them, but when I measured, I could only get 3. So doing it this way is going to save us some space. But they're going to be like this on the shelf, and you'll see that in just a minute when we go out there. But I don't have enough space for another bin. So these 2 are just going to be on their own, stacked up against these in the upright position. And these will be the 2 that we use next week for our family dinner. And that will leave these 2 for us to use in the future. So I'm going to show you what all that looks like out in the freezer. So let's head out there. So as you can see, we have the bin here with the 2, and then the other 2 standing up right here. This is a lot of the way we keep our freezer. We have videos on how we organize our freezer, but this is another group of, this is I think beef stew that is also upright to save a lot of space. So back to the kitchen. So that was a reasonable amount of work and time to get 20 pounds of chicken in the freezer for a cost of about $20. So not bad at all. And we're very grateful that Jim found those 99-cent chickens. If we had more freezer space, we would get more. But we're about out of freezer space, so we've got to keep eating so we can rotate through a lot of that stuff out there. But I think that it has never been more important than it is today to make sure that our freezers are full, our cupboards are full as much as possible, that we have water stored. These are such uncertain times in which we live. We never know what is going to happen next. And so we need to be prepared for a variety of things that could happen that would throw our regular routine off kilter. So we're trying to present on this channel lots of different ideas and ways for you so that you can feel prepared. It is a challenge to dedicate the resources necessary to have a whole lot of food stored. It truly is. Sometimes taking the family to Disneyland is just, it rings so important in our mind that we should do that, when in reality, we could look back with great regret if we spent that money doing something like that instead of getting food. But every family needs to make that decision for themselves. Jim and I, as you know, are very frugal, and we love to watch the sales and keep things stocked up. We feel like it's most likely that if things happen, one or more of our children and their families may be joining us here, so we are trying to prepare for that possibility. But those little spatchcock chickens, boy, they are just so delicious on the grill, and such a quick and easy meal to fix when the chicken is already prepared and all we have to do is add seasonings and heat. So I hope you try this. I hope this has given you some good ideas, and we're so grateful for our community. We just learned as much from you as you learned from us. So thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting us. We just couldn't do what we do without feeling that we are helping families around the world, and it just is such a rewarding feeling to us. We just love what we do, and we're going to keep doing it until we can't do it anymore. So thanks for being with us, and we'll see you very soon for more videos.